What is going on YouTube? Lee Sanders here of the RCWR Show with some breaking news. You talk about being in the right place at the right time. It's nice to be able to break news here on our YouTube channel from time to time. I'm a little bit like, wow, hearing this news. But WWE superstar, former three-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns has been suspended by the WWE. Now, wrestling websites, they have yet to post this on their website, as this really first broke out by WWE themselves. So I give a lot of kudos to WWE for not going through any other outlets, just pretty much, hey, look, it's coming from us directly. Best that you hear it directly from us. So kudos to WWE for that. Rather brief statement. You go to WWE's website right now, and it reads the following. This is breaking news for Tuesday afternoon, June 21st, 2016, 3:15 p.m. over here on the East Coast that this news is coming about. According to WWE.com, WWE has suspended Joe Anoa'i, Roman Reigns, for 30 days effective immediately for his first violation of the company's talent wellness policy. Now, Roman Reigns would issue a statement on Twitter. This actually came about 10 minutes ago that this tweet had came about. He says, and I quote, "I apologize to my family, friends, and fans for my mistake in violating WWE's wellness policy. No excuses. I own it." So, God, where do I even want to begin with this piece of news? First off, I'm just like totally shocked at this news. Now, I know we're going to have some anti-Roman Reigns fans that's going to look at this news and they're just going to be all in euphoria and they're going to be jumping up and down and they're probably going to be dancing around a campfire, just mama, 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 hey, 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 raising the roof and all that. But all joking aside, say what you will about Roman Reigns. Everybody is a critic when it comes to him. You got people that are for him, you have people that are against him. But just when you really get down to the heart of the matter with this piece of news that had came about, you gotta admit this is pretty damn bad timing for Roman Reigns, and I think it sheds a lot of light on possibly the reason why Roman Reigns may have dropped the WWE title at this past weekend's Money in the Bank pay-per-view event. Now, granted, it's still possible, and I had said this on our Money in the Bank post show, which was, don't be too surprised if maybe the move to put the belt on somebody else, take it off of Roman Reigns, went down for the simple fact WWE was trying to put in a lot of shock value, that they were trying to come in some type of way compete with Game 7 of the NBA Finals. I think they realized, I still feel in my heart of hearts that they realized that the position that they were in, majority of their fans, because remember, they pretty much target the same age demographics as the NBA does. I mean, NBA's age demographic popularity for sure is with the males 18 to probably 54, to say the least. So they knew, I think, in their hearts that, okay, we got all the fans going over here. We kind of need to do everything we can to make this Money in the Bank this year have like a WrestleMania type of feel. And they did have that with a couple of matches that was on the card. For sure, the main event between Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins for the WWE title. So I still feel in my heart of hearts that in part, and like I said on the post show, don't be too surprised If you hear, that's one of the reasons why they went on ahead and they did that move. Also, in light of this news that came about with Roman Reigns, it also potentially explains why they went on ahead and took the belt off of him. Now, some people, I think honestly, and I got to commend WWE for taking the belt off of him. I have a feeling that they were probably aware that he violated this. I wouldn't be too surprised if in the coming days we learned that WWE had known about this for maybe 2-3 weeks, and they had just decided, okay, well, this is the place where we're going to do whatever it is that we need to do, maybe get the belt off of him. Granted, it is a first violation. Let's play a couple of angles here, hypothetically speaking. For the sake of the argument, could they have kept the title on Roman Reigns with this first wellness policy violation? 30-day suspension. Yeah, they could have. There's a couple of story angles that I could think of that could have explained him being gone for 30 days, especially if they wanted to try to keep it on the hush hush. But then at the same time, there really wouldn't have been any way possible that they could have swept this under the rug because A, they're a publicly traded company. And so like you, me, if you know how to go about finding the information, you can get a list of the employees for WWE that has violated the wellness policy. It's publicly known. It's like the company that does these random drug tests for its talent and all that, they have to report it. So this is basically WWE's way of kind of covering their own butt, if you will. I'm sure if it was a different time, different place, yeah, they probably would try to keep this on the hush, but times have changed. They can't operate like that anymore. On the flip side to this, Roman Reigns is a relatively young man, and I feel that now, look, I haven't heard anything bad about Roman Reigns. I've had the pleasure of interviewing quite a few people that work in the wrestling business, and I've talked with those that have had some type of interactions personally with Roman Reigns, or they've had the opportunity to work with him, and I've heard nothing but good things about this man. And this isn't during the interview. I'm having conversations just off camera, off the air, not even going live. So, I feel genuinely that Roman just lapsed in judgment. And you know what? He's a young man. We all make mistakes. I dare not want to see anybody chastising him, degrading him. And, we all make mistakes. We all are not human. I think he really realizes what a boneheaded move that he had made, especially considering the amount of time, the energy, the effort from the booking staff, the management, everybody to try to help get this young man over. I think it's really starting to set in for him. And honestly, what he needs to do right now is just take this negative, turn it into a positive. And that's for real. Anybody that is a true wrestling fan, forget about how you may feel about Roman Reigns. You may like him, you may hate him. I think we all could be in agreement. This violation, boneheaded move, it could have been prevented, but he's still a young man. Dust himself off, get right back at it. And if that means he's going to have to work 2 times harder, I mean, he's already been putting in the time as it is to try to get over with the fans. And for the most part, it seemed as though he was finally starting to find his own groove. Hopefully, he's able to pick up where he left off when he gets back. Because the timing of this, it really, really is bad right now, because you think about what was going on with him leading up to when he dropped the title. at Money in the Bank, you got to admit, personality wise, as far as what you were seeing on television, he was really starting to get comfortable in the position that he was in, basically being the face of the company, basically being a main event caliber player in the WWE field. You could really tell that he was starting to get comfortable. So the timing for this is definitely bad. Now, again, he's suspended for 30 days. So, of course, you know what that means. And bear in mind, I would imagine this kind of came, now that I'm actually thinking about it a little bit more, I got to go back and retract something here. I got to go back and make a retraction. I don't believe that WWE was aware of this like weeks before. Connect the dots with me. You go back, you watch Monday Night Raw from just less than 24 hours ago, and we found out basically like at the conclusion of Raw, that match between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, I didn't see the last few minutes of it, but apparently a triple threat match was made for the next pay-per-view, WWE Battleground, which is going to be happening in about 5 weeks, Washington, D.C., Verizon Center. So you hear that and you're like, oh, okay. And then, like fast forward just a handful of hours later, Roman Reigns, he has the violation. So I'm really, now that I'm kind of thinking about it, yeah, I'm gonna stick with my guts here. I don't think that this was a case where WWE was maybe aware of this days or weeks prior. I think this might have been. Now I will say, it's possible that they may have gotten the results a couple of days or a couple of weeks prior, and they probably were starstruck. They were probably dumbfounded. They might have said, "This can't be right. Can you double check, make sure this is accurate?" Because last thing we want to do right now is lose this guy. And it's possible that they may have asked that the paperwork for the blood work, urine work, all that be looked at again to make sure that this was accurate. And upon a second checkup, it's like, yeah, we cross-reference. We made sure we crossed all our X's and O's. The documentation that you have is accurate. Roman did violate the wellness policy. And so that put WWE in a very difficult position, and they had to do what they had to do. So basically, with this going down as of today, Roman Reigns being suspended, I mean, if you look at the calendar here, so basically he's not going to be ready to go until, what's that, the 21st of next month, which would basically put him at Thursday, July 21st. His 30-day suspension will have expired. Meanwhile, you got to think about when WWE Battleground is. We're looking at that right now to pull up the exact date. I know they said 5 weeks from now. So let me see here. Here we go. Actually, let me say, there we go. Battleground. I'm on the last one. I got to actually see the date for the next one that's pulling up here. Bear with me, guys. Okay, I got it now. So July 24th, it's going to be happening. I just don't see it happening. I wish, if it were me, I've already advertised it. I would, but you got to send a message to the boys in the back that this type of behavior is not acceptable. It's just not. You have to have a hands down zero tolerance for this type of behavior. So for those of you Roman Reigns fans, that's like, well, is it possible he could still? I don't see it happening, even though the pay-per-view wouldn't be until a couple of days later after he comes back. Yeah, I just don't see it happening. So can't help but wonder, are they going to go with Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins at Battleground now, or do they maybe slide somebody else like right on up in there? Uh, I'll talk a little bit more about this because this is like breaking news to me. I got to marinate on this for a little bit, but I want to now turn the forum over to you guys and get you all's reaction on this news that we just broke for you all. And we'll definitely follow up on you all's reactions later tonight on an all new The RCWR Show. And that's going to be coming at you tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, live on Spreaker.com. If you're not able to join us live, you can check us out on other great platforms, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. All the links you need is in the video description of the video down below. And you can also follow me on Twitter at the RCWR Show. Love interacting with you wrestling fans out there. So you love talking all things wrestling, make sure you give me a follow on there. Facebook as well, Infinity One Productions. My phone has just been blowing up over here with regards to the news that's come about here with Roman Reigns. Got to give a shout out to Brendan, because Brendan was actually the one who gave me the nod via Twitter about this news. As I said, wrestling websites, I'm sure by now they're breaking this news, but shout out to him because WWE actually put it out there, and then 5 minutes later, Roman Reigns put the tweet out there confirming and all that. And I agree with what, just kind of give you an idea on what some folks are saying. Brendan, RCWR Show via Twitter, dumb mistake, but he's taking responsibility, which is a mature move. Indeed it is. It's a mature move. I genuinely think, trust me, I don't think we need to crap on Roman Reigns. I don't think we need to beat him up and call him an idiot and all this other stuff. I think when it's all said and done, deep down, this man knows the position that he put himself in. I'm sure he's kicking himself in the ass. And trust me, just the fact that he feels remorse and he's owning up to it. You know, this isn't like Adam Rose or some other WWE superstar where it's like, hey, yeah, I was doing everything that I was supposed to do, and like, why WWE hit me up with this? When you get right down to it, Roman did something. What? I don't even want to speculate on that, but I respect the fact that he's owning up to it. He knows he made a mistake, and that's fine. We're all human. We make mistakes all the time. The key is to learn from it, move forward, do what you need to do to be a better person. Don't make that same mistake happen again, because who knows what could happen as far as the results the next go around. It could be much worse, and it definitely will be much worse if he gets another violation. As if I'm not mistaken, I think it would go to a 60-day violation or a 90-day. I think third strike, they just go on ahead and release you. But let's turn the forum over now to you guys. Post your comments down below. I'll definitely go out of my way to interact with you guys. And like I said, we'll follow up on you all's reactions later tonight live on Spreaker.com. So until then, wishing all y'all to be safe, be kind to one another. Make sure you give me a thumbs up too for hooking you guys up, breaking this news for you guys. All right, guys, much love. Take care.